game ready, steady aim at the target. I'm flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like...
Hey, it's your girl, Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Sort in the Game album review of Papoose's Endangered Species. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, we all are familiar with Papoose, you feel me? Bed-Stuy Stand Up, all day and tomorrow. He dropped a project last year called Underrated. That, you know, I was like teeter-tottering with it, back and forth, whatever have you. Papoose is one of these artists that it's hard to describe his career because he's somebody that we all like respect. We respect what they do, and I just don't know why they didn't translate bigger back in the day. You know, he was always like the next up and all of these things, and I really don't understand what happened, why that didn't translate a little bit harder. You know, he's had like, you know, ill features, all type of things. Everybody always, you know, gives him his props and gives credit where credit is due, but you know, he's one of these things that it's like, it's not even a selected taste because he's so nice at what he does, but I just don't know where the disconnect always came from when it comes down his career. But let's get into Endangered Species. Now, this first track on here is called Billionaire. That's the opening track on here. This is like a roller coaster ride. Like, you know, it starts off like, not slow, because he don't never do nothing too slow. But, you know, it has this thing, and then he goes faster, and then he goes slow, and then he goes faster, and at the end, just when I'm thinking it's about to ride out, it goes up again and comes down like, yo, dog. You know, sometimes you gotta pull back a little bit on that, because like I was exhausted listening to the first track on here. Bars on here, just do a one take challenge. Let's see who fucking win. And then he said, poor engineers, y'all always be punching in, like y'all like, and I keep telling y'all, I don't really deal with these punching rappers. Like, you feel me? If we gonna do punch-ins all day, I can get in the booth at any given time, you feel me, and string together some shit and make it sound hard. That's not what lyricism is about. You have to have all these things in place when it comes down to that. So I'm glad that he pointed that out, because we're just from that same era where it's not cool to do that. Like, you have to be able to perform your work. So appreciate him on that. The second track on here is called Box Cutter. He says on here he got the deadliest pen, and this is alright too, you feel me. Then he got a track on here, it's called Cobra Scale. It starts off with Maya Angelou's Still I Rise, and that plays throughout this whole song, tidbits and stuff like that. On here, he says he's a hood version of Bart Simpson. He'll let the Maggie blow. I thought that was really, really funny. But this is one of those songs that is not, like, it's heavy. Like, the content is heavy, but he ain't barring us down. And this is why, like, you know, I really actually like this track. This might be one of my favorite tracks on this album. But it's like heavy content, but he's not barring us down. He's not killing us with this shit, you know, something that he usually is known to do. So Cobra Scale, that shit was nice over there. Track number 4 on here, Kickback, featuring French Montana and Conway. Oh my god. French Montana is on the hook. Thank God that he didn't try to get in between with a verse between like the likes of Papoose and Conway the Machine, you feel me. Papoose say on here, I'm a problem where your top 50 get their bars from. So like, yo, you be ghostwriting for niggas? Who you ghostwrite for? You feel me? Let me know something, Papoose. Who you be out here ghostwriting for? Conway on here, just a hard verse from Conway. And this is where I want to ask the question, right? When it comes down to Conway the Machine, is he becoming like one of those features that, you know, is just gonna make the make the track harder, even save a track in certain instances? You feel me? Is he like one of these guys, these go-to feature guys, like a Jadakiss? And this is what I ask you, so make sure you leave your answers in the comments below. But hard verse, I'm not gonna recite any of his bars on there. I don't want to fuck him up. That's how hard his verse is on here. Murdering cats all day and tomorrow. Oh man, dog. Number 5 track on here, the 5th track on here, The Human Body, parenthesis, the brain. This is where he's taking this, you know, alphabet slaughter approach, and he's breaking down the brain. This is going to be a series on here because he makes reference to part 2 of this shit being called the heart, which I don't know how much of this shit I can take. And dog, this nigga, and I'm mad because I actually wrote down here looking over my notes, this nigga like a weird ass Beekman's World or Bill Nye the Science Guy, and I really don't understand what place this shit has. Now, just because you nice and we know that, don't mean that you should take your niceness and put down into any type of content for us. We do not need to hear you break down the brain, my nigga. And I understand he has a little play in here, and he's like, associating it with money and all of these things and stuff like that. But, dog, this is just a weird-ass way to let us know that you might be, book savvy, or you got an Encyclopedia Britannica at your fucking house, or whatever have you. Just like a weird-ass Beekman's World or Bill Nye the Science Guy. I do not need to listen to this shit. I can't imagine, like, bumping this shit anywhere. That's the thing. Like, even if I was a medical student and needed help, if I was about to study to be a neurosurgeon, I don't think I would come to your fucking class when it comes down to this type of shit. But nonetheless, you do what you do rather well. Like, I ain't gonna hate on you. You have all the pieces in place when it comes down to that. But dog, stop. Stop. Like, we gotta stop doing this. The next track on here is COVID-19. And I said, oh my God, when I seen the track, I said, here we go again. If this nigga pretends that he's COVID-19, I'm a freak out. And exactly that happened on here. He's being COVID-19. One of the stand-up bars on here I did enjoy, though. He said, when I sneeze, niggas used to say, God bless you. Now when I sneeze, niggas disrespect you. Now, that's so true, but like, dog, again, just not needed at all on this album. I don't know, man. He be coming across real crazy with that type of shit. But that's unequivocally him. That's his style. That's the way he does. You feel me? So I ain't gonna knock him all the way down, but dog, I ain't need that. The next track on here is called Maturity. And this was like a different beat setup from him. This was like jazz inspired. And I really enjoyed this. This like it was crazy. He like really pulled back on this track with Maturity, and just was spitting over this jazz inspired beat about, just like grown man stuff, grown man issues, how you fall in love with a girl, all of these stuff like that. This is a really dope track. I wasn't expecting to hear nothing like this coming from Papoose, but this track Maturity, like, it's really dope. Like, it kind of put you in the mind frame of something like would be off Sky Zoo's last project that came out. You feel me? Just like this really jazz inspired track. I was really happy to see that. The next track on here, Hate to Be Real. Again, nigga lost me immediately. So he snuck this Maturity track into, we had the Human Body, COVID-19, the Maturity track, the Hate Be Real. He came right back with the bullshit. I did like the bar on here. It says log into Zoom for a virtual funeral and shit like that. I don't know how, dog, but whatever have you. I could have did without that track too. Then it is Numerical Slaughter 2, which is the first part was on Papoose's like debut album or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. You feel me? I didn't do the research on it. I remember the track very vividly when it did come out. So that one was 1 through 9, and this is 10 through 20. It was alright because again, he does what he does best on here. But I'm like, yo, Papoose doing these type of tracks are like filler. They're like filler tracks on the album. Like, this might be the most creative filler tracks we've ever seen in hip hop. So you feel me? I gotta find something to say about these shits going on in here, because this ain't something that you say, oh yeah, son, play that Numerical Slaughter 2, or play that The Body, The Brain. You know, feel me? Like, nobody's doing that. The track Antidote featuring Nigel Hall, that's a political track. I'll let you know that he's just aware and conscious of what's going on. I didn't have a problem with that. Track number 11 was called Working with DJ Premier on the beat. And this is a weird beat coming from DJ Premier. I want y'all to check this out just to listen to this beat in particular coming from DJ Premier, and let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments below. And the last track on the album was Tribute. That was a single that was released. It's over a Mini Man sample, and he's like alphabetically again, going through all the victims of police brutality that we've seen in recent years, going through everything with the BLM movement and stuff like that. It was really dope. Now, something like that, I don't mind him utilizing his skills for, because it comes across really clean. But some of this other stuff he had on here, dog, I was like, you know what? I wasn't mad at this album, though. Like, you feel me? I don't know what order y'all gonna be watching these reviews in, but like this right here, this was all right. You feel me? Like, ain't no home run or nothing like that, but there's enough work on here that you shouldn't be mad at giving it, a spin or two in your spare time. But other than that, I'm about to get out of here. I'm Meta Money. You can follow me on Twitter and IG at Meta Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. Like, yeah, just let me know how you feel about Maturity. Let me know how you feel about the beat by DJ Premier, Working. And like, let me know how you feel about Conway features, and is he one of these go-to guys when it's coming down to, you feel me, the new era of feature gods too. All right, peace.
They ain't ready, steady aim at the target.